This was one of the most wild games of the season. I say that because Donte DiVincenzo broke the franchise record for most threes in a game. It had previously been held by J.R. Smith and Evan Fournier with 10 apiece. Donte scored 11 tonight. He did have 12, but the officials went back and took one away, saying that his heel was on the baseline. Very questionable, but hey, it is what it is. 40 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals for Devo. He was just absolutely on fire in this game. And that's coming after a game against the Nets where, once again, he goes out there, he scores 31 points on 12 of 24 shooting. I mean, DiVincenzo, to me, has to be the best free agent pickup this offseason. I mean, what he's brought to this Knicks team, just his ability to score, shot create, his IQ. Every team that DiVincenzo has been on has improved, and he's helped the Knicks out tremendously. We already have more home wins than we did all of last season. We have 2 more, and it's March 25th when I'm recording this. Just crazy. But that was not it. Jalen Brunson, 28 points on 10 of 20 from the field. He was off in the first half. I think Brunson was 3 for 11 at the top of my head, and he just made his first 3 shots. Just looked like a man possessed. Plus 37 for Brunson. He also had 6 assists and 2 rebounds. Josh Hart with another triple-double, 11 points, 14 rebounds, 10 assists and a steal. Hart played 40 minutes. He leads the league since the All-Star break in minutes played per game. He has just been doing everything. He's like a Swiss Army knife for the Knicks. He did make a 3. He had missed 17 in a row prior to this game, so to see that one going from the top of the key had to felt good. Miles McBride, 13 points, 5 of 12 from the field, 5 boards, 4 assists, and a steal. I mean, when are we going to start talking about Miles McBride having star potential? It sounds crazy, but if you're watching these Knicks games, the guy's just 23 years old. He's already an elite defender, and now he's developing as a shot creator and a playmaker. He looks good out there. I mean, McBride, from last season to this season, is just night and day difference. He legit is a weapon for us, and in the playoffs, he's going to be a part of this rotation, and a very big part of it. Is he going to be starting? Absolutely not, because we're getting Randall and OG and hopefully Mitchell Robinson back, but he's going to be playing 20 plus minutes off the bench, and he's going to be depended on heavily. Precious Achiuwa had a massive bounce back game. We had been talking about how he's been quiet, but a lot of it was just matchup issues. But 9 points, 16 rebounds for Precious, a block and a steal. At one point, a few weeks ago, wasn't that long ago, Achiuwa was dominating, and he was starting, he was playing big minutes, and then it just went down because we went to McBride. But hey, Achiuwa, he was huge in this game. He looked good. Hopefully we can get that Precious Achiuwa for the rest of the season. And then you've got Bojan Bogdanovic, who looked good at 13 points in 18 minutes, 5 of 11 from the field. He can get hot in a hurry. You have to understand that the Knicks added in a 20 points per game scorer at the end of their bench. I understand it's the Pistons, the bad team, the worst team in the NBA, pretty much by far. But to get a player with his craft and his IQ and his shot creating ability is just huge for this team. Jericho Sims played 7 minutes. I mean, honestly, the Knicks didn't really get much out of their bench outside of Achiuwa and Bogdanovic. I mean, Alec Burks did not play tonight, and the rest of the guys barely saw any minutes, but it just didn't matter. When your starters are scoring 40, 28, 13, 11, and 6, you're going to be more than fine. It just is the way it is. Before the Knicks, they had to win this game, not only because it was the Pistons, but because the Cavs had won. So the Knicks are going to remain just a half game out of the 3 seed, but at the same time here, the Knicks are just a game out of falling to the 5th seed, which would mean no home court in the first round. And if you know anything about the Knicks, you would know that they are incredibly dangerous at home. I mean, the Knicks are also incredibly dangerous with a 10-point lead. They've only lost 3 games this season when they've been up 10 plus, and they were all in the first half. So the Knicks are just finding ways to close out these games to finish it. Coach Thibodeau has just done a hell of a job. There's a short on my channel that I'm not going to say went viral because that would be misleading, but there's a short on my channel, and it was from last season. It was when we were on a losing streak, and things looked bad, and I was saying, man, these rotations aren't it. Fire Coach Tib. I was just over Coach Tib and Randall. Obviously, that would be wrong. Julius Randle, before the injury, was playing maybe even the best ball of his career, and Coach Thibodeau is a guy that's a multi-time Coach of the Year. It's just frustration. I mean, you guys know it's sports. The Knicks have had losing streaks this season. We just lost 4 or 5 in a row not that long ago. We've had winning streaks. You know, the Knicks are over 500 without Randall. To me, I'll take that any single day of the week. I thought we would be in trouble without Randall, but Jalen Brunson has just been putting up MVP level numbers. Guys have stepped up with Hart, DiVincenzo, and Miles McBride especially. I mean, I'm very happy with where the Knicks are at. Last season was awesome. This season has been the same thing. Every single night the Knicks are on, I'm just so excited to put it on and to watch and cheer on this team. The playoffs last year were electric. Beating the Cavs, taking the Heat all the way down to the wire of Game 6. Of course, Brunson had a late turnover, but I mean, Brunson, he has just put to rest all. Okay, I shouldn't say that. I was going to say he's put to rest all of the talks about how he can't be a number one option, because for that to happen, it would have to be true. But I mean, we know that Brunson was balling. I mean, dude was putting up 30 every single night in the playoffs on efficiency, just didn't have a lot of help. But this time around, the Knicks are going to be healthy. OG and Randall are going to be back by the playoffs. Randall, there hasn't been an update on him, a significant update at least, but he is warming up before the games, and he should be resuming contact not that far from now, and he's going to be a massive addition to the team. I mean, Randall, you look at the numbers he was putting up before the injury. He's given the Knicks 24, 9, and 5, and 47% from the field. Randall was just really balling, and then we know OG and the impact he's made, 15 and 4 and 2 on near 50% from the field, and that's not even including his elite defense. OG loves getting steals. He had, what, 7 steals one game for us? I mean, the guy just gets in the passing lane at will. The Knicks defense is the best in the league when OG's on the court. Teams just are not even able to score 90 at times against the Knicks. It's just crazy to see, but top to bottom, this is the most depth that I have ever seen on a Knicks roster. Of course, last time the Knicks went to the finals, I was 2 years old, so I wasn't watching them back then. But the only really good Knicks team that I've seen since I started getting huge into them when I got older was the 2013 Knicks. That team won, what, 54 games, and they ended up losing in the second round. But this Knicks team is just much different. Defensively, they're elite. They've got shot creating, and Mike Woodson was a defensive-minded guy, just like Coach Tibb. But, I mean, this Knicks team just has a lot more firepower. DiVincenzo scored 40. Last game I said he scored, what, was it 31? Yeah, 31. I mean, just to have a guy that was supposed to be a bench player. When Devo signed with the Knicks, he was supposed to be coming off the bench. That was his role. And bench player sounds kind of harsh, but that was what he was supposed to be. And he immediately slid into the starting lineup due to these injuries, and the Knicks haven't gone back from it, and they certainly won't go back from it, no matter, even if they're at full strength or not. DiVincenzo will be starting, and he will be getting a lot of shots up. But for this Knicks team, the next game is going to be in Toronto, traveling there. That's going to be Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And then Friday night Knicks, going to be against the Spurs and Victor Wembanyama. That should be fun. And then after that, things get serious. OKC, Miami, Sacramento, Bulls, Milwaukee, Chicago. Every team in there is at least in the play-in, if not in the playoff picture. Boston, Brooklyn, who we know suck. F the Brooklyn Nets, am I right? And the Chicago Bulls again. It's going to be a brutal end to the schedule, but it's so crucial that the Knicks find a way to get by, because you do not want to fall to the 5th seed. Getting to the 3 seed would be absolutely fantastic. It would mean that the Knicks would be on the other side of the bracket other than Boston. But I think just getting that 4 seed would be fine with me, because that way the Knicks would have home court in the first round. They would go up against whether it be the Magic or the Pacers or the Heat. I really couldn't care less who that ends up being, as long as the Knicks have home court and are able to get healthy. But the biggest thing is again, I just said it, getting healthy. It doesn't matter if the Knicks play Boston in the second round. You would rather do that and be healthy versus, okay, here's the Eastern Conference Finals, but we're not healthy. You don't want to rush guys back. The Knicks won't rush guys back. There's a reason why OG hasn't been playing, not only because of the soft schedule, but because he feels uncomfortable.